Hello, my name is Brendan Kelly, and today I'll be talking about Newday Impact, impact investing, and the future of investing. So, I'd like to start off with the question, where do you invest your money? So, some sustainable ways of investing your money include ESG or environmental, social, and governance initiatives, which are firms that invest in companies with specific practices already from the get go. And these are typically companies that are already in the realm of being either a B corporation or having a significant impact on the industry that they're part of for the better. Next, there's socially responsible investing, which its purpose is to invest in companies that are aligned with your personal morals. So, for instance, if you don't want to invest in energy companies that use uh, predominantly greenhouse gas inefficient methods, then you would choose not to invest in those. And then finally, there's impact investing, which its purpose is to invest into companies that are developing sustainable practices. So, who are these ESG investors? While a study from Morningstar found that nearly 3 out of every 4 Americans have a moderate impact in interest into sustainable investing. However, when we talk about the actual user base, it's interesting to note that only about a third of these ESG investors are using advisory firms to make their investments, whereas two-thirds are doing it on their own. So now I'd like to talk about, from a company perspective, where this money and where these investments are being focalized. Now, what we've noticed over the past 10 years is that ESG incorporation has really trumped over overlapping strategies and shareholder advocacy. We've noticed that between 2010 and 2020, there's been nearly a $10 billion increase, $10 trillion increase in the impact investments that have been made. So this industry as a whole is really emerging. Currently, impact investing alone is a $715 billion industry. Although it's important to realize that when it comes to the whole sustainable investing industry, that's more than a $30 trillion industry. And essentially, in this impact investing, there's been a 42.4% growth in 2020 alone, with 88% of firms reporting meeting or exceeding their performance. Now, this is very interesting because in a poll taken by Business Wire of the Millennial and Gen Z investment groups, we found that the majority of, and this is a very slim majority, of people in this demographic group found that impact investing is a short-term trend versus a long-term change. Now I'd like to talk about Newday Impact. Newday Impact is an impact investing firm based out of San Francisco, California. It was founded in 2016 by Alexander Meek and Anthony Randazzo, and currently they manage 14 portfolios ranging from religious beliefs to global impact. And their main attraction in this market is that they offer a mobile platform for investing. So, as a B corporation, Newday ranks in the 106 for their score. And you could see by these distributions that the majority of their score is with customers and community. This is because of their transparency with their reporting, as well as the criteria that they require for the investments that they make on a company basis. And we also see that the lowest impact that they have is really with the environment. And this is because when it comes to the firm and where it's situated, there's not much that they can directly do with the environment. So that's something to consider because they were marked by the B Corporation board as a low impact in the environment industry. So now I'd like to talk about global impact, which is one of the portfolios offered by Newday. Now, Global Impact offers 41 holdings as opposed to the ACMI's or AMCI's 2,781. So it's a lot more focused on a smaller number of firms. And what we've noticed is that because of the selective picking of these investments, Newday has received nearly double, if not more, the returns than AMCI's investments have. So, what is the future of Newday? Some things to consider when discussing this are the long-term growth potential that the company has, considering that the majority of businesses coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic are interested in sustainable investing in their company. Another strength is that they have very strong investment criteria, meaning that the investments that are being made by this company, they're very specific and they have very detailed criteria, similar to how the B Corporation ranks certain companies. And another thing is the structure of the business. Because it is a mobile platform and because it is tailored towards the Gen Z and millennial generations, we've noticed that this has a very profound impact on the future of investing, and that this company in particular is well situated to capitalize on that. Some things also to consider is that they do have to compete with traditional investment firms. Although we have seen that to a few examples, they have surpassed that. Another thing to consider is demographics. So it's interesting because while the majority of interested investors are focalized within the Gen Z and uh, millennial age groups, the demographics of investors are predominantly people who are in the baby boomer or in the Gen X category. And then finally, we have to, of course, consider the fact that Newday is return oriented, which prevents them from directly impacting companies that aren't publicly traded, and furthermore prevents them from truly being able to capitalize on emerging markets, especially in foreign countries.